Next thing on the list is about mid-March. I got about the third week is when I've done it before. I've seed started my peppers, and my optimal germination temp for my peppers is about 85 degrees. And I got quite a few varieties this year. I'm going to try fermenting some hot sauce, so I have some extra varieties for that. But the two I did last year that I had the best success with was the Early Sensation and the King Arthur bell pepper from Haas Tools. And I had a huge success with those. I grew so many peppers, couldn't eat them all. And those I'm bringing back this year. And I have a roulette habanero pepper, which I'm going to use for the hot sauce, and a New Mix Suave orange habanero pepper. They are heatless varieties that I'm looking forward to putting some good flavor into this hot sauce. And for a mild pepper, I have Flaming Flare Fresno. It is another variety from Johnny's. Those three varieties are from Johnny's seeds, and I'm hoping that they make a great fermented hot sauce. I'm really looking forward to trying that. I have been thinking about it all winter. Next up I got is collards. And last year I did the Top Bunch 2.0 from Haas Tools. This year I have their Flash collards from Haas Tools. Hope those do pretty good. I enjoy those. It'll be a good meal for the family. Get lots of food off of a few collard plants, I'm telling you. The optimal germination temperature I have for collards is about 75 degrees. I don't use a heat mat on those either. Really the only thing I use a heat mat on is my peppers or my tomatoes or warm season crops that I feel like I need to start early. But usually most of my warm season crops I'll direct seed or put them outside on the table whenever it gets hot enough outside. They can germinate outside too as well. My tomato varieties this year, I have the Hossinator, which is a brand new variety from Haas Tools. It's supposed to grow very nice sized slicing variety. It is very disease resistant and has many resistance to lots of diseases, which I'm very happy about. I'm looking forward to that. Then the next one I got is Red Snapper. I haven't grown this one before. I've heard good things about it from on the Row by Row group on Facebook. A lot of people talk about it, so I wanted to try it this year. Next one I'm going to try is the Kellogg's Breakfast Tomato, which I did the Chef's Choice Orange last year, and I really like those yellow varieties. They have like a less acidy flavor and taste to them, and I really enjoy those. Makes a good sandwich tomato right there. So I wanted to try the Kellogg's Breakfast Tomato from Haas Tools and the Red Snappers from Haas Tools. The Homestead Tomato, that's from Haas Tools as well. I heard good things about that as well. I really wanted to try that one. The Bella Rosa Tomato, I have had a huge success with these tomatoes. They just make, and they're a good hybrid variety, and you can't go wrong with trying them if you've never tried them before. And the next variety is a container variety. They're dwarf tomatoes, the Rosy Finch from Haas Tools, and the Yellow Canary from Haas Tools. I tried the Rosy Finch last year, and the kids snacked on them like candy. Hardly any of them made them into the house, so I'm going to grow some more of them this year in containers and kind of take you along with that. Hopefully, they both do well. I'm excited about them both. And along with the raised bed gardening, we will do some container gardening here and there, hopefully. Next up on the list, about the end of March, 4th week or so, just depends on what the weather is outside. My kale, I usually seed start those. My optimal germination temperature for kale is about 65 degrees. I usually have luck with 70 degrees, so don't worry about that too much. My varieties are the Blue Ridge Kale and the Lacinato Kale from Haas Tools. I enjoy them both very much, and I've had very good success with them, so I'm growing those again. Something else we're going to try this year new is a Tomatillo Purple. I got this from, I believe it was Baker Creek. I'm pretty sure I got that from Baker Creek. And it's a Tomatillo Purple is the name. And it's, from the research I've done on it, it grows like a weed, and it really puts out some fruit. So we're probably going to just put some of these transplants out somewhere where they're not in the garden, maybe in a container or something like that. So hopefully we can kind of keep them contained, you know, so they're not taking over something over the years of stirring up more seeds in the garden, you know. But we're looking to get those up and try those for the first time. So if you got any tips or tricks on those, just comment down below and let me know how they did for you, and maybe I'll learn something new. Something else we're going to grow that I have not tried yet is eggplants. I really wanted to try these this year because I heard they make good fries. I'm excited to try this variety. I got the Orient Express, and that is from Johnny's Seeds. I'm looking forward to trying that variety. I don't have much information on that because I've never tried it before, but I Googled the optimal temperature for that for germination is about 80 to 90 degrees, and hopefully I have good luck with that. Next I got is about April. Whenever it gets my last frost and gets warm enough, I could direct seed some okra after my last frost, a couple weeks, just to be sure, because they really need hot, dry soil. If it's cold, they'll just sit there and wait. You'll think that they rotted or something. You have to wait till it's nice and warm outside and the soil temp's pretty high. So I usually do those close to last. I seed start them indoors so I can get a jump start on the production. I usually do last year I did the jambalaya variety, and I gotta say it was a heck of a producer. So this year I'm gonna grow some jambalaya, and this year from Haas Tools I got the red burgundy okra. So they're both from Haas, and I'm hoping I can pickle some varieties, and we'll see what happens, ferment some varieties. I fermented the jambalaya last year, and they was very good. I recommend trying that. And the optimal germination temperature for okra is about 85 degrees. That's what I have found. So I'll probably germinate those inside on a heating mat or something. Whenever I have nothing else on the heat mat, I can throw those on there whenever it comes time. Along with my watermelons, they germinate about 90 degrees, and I usually do those about the beginning of April as well, and I've had pretty good success with that. Usually I got these seeds from Johnny's, the new orchid variety. It's like an orangish meat inside, and they're relatively priced, but I don't want to be just direct seeding them outside, so I want to make sure I get some out of it. So I want to seed start them indoors to be sure that I have plenty, so we have them to grow and snack on later on. Now, to talk about some of these varieties that I direct seed outdoors, my peas I got from Haas Tools is the Oregon Sugar Pod pea, and it's like a stir fry pea, and I'm looking to kind of make a stir fry mix of vegetables this year, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put those in a raised bed, and I'll probably direct seed those outside. You can seed start them inside. I've had luck with that before, but I'll just direct seed them outside. I don't need to do that this year. My carrots, I'm planning on direct seeding them. I have Envy carrots from Haas Tools, and I'll probably do a double row of those, and I have some pelleted seeds from Johnny's, which are the dragon carrot. They're like a purplish outside, orange inside, and I'm planning on trying to use my seeder to plant these this time. I'm going to try to just do 2 different ways of direct seeding, and stick around and you'll see what those are when the time comes to experiment a little bit. I think it'll be fun. Next I got is my summer squash. And last year I did slick pick from Hoss Tools, and they produced plenty of squash. I gotta say, we usually eat them all year long. This year I'm gonna try to probably can some or freeze some mostly. I would really like to freeze some, that would be nice. So I got that variety, the slick pick from Hoss Tools and the Delta squash from Hoss Tools, and we're hoping those do pretty well. My next variety would be the zucchini, and I direct seed these outside as well, would be the Spineless Beauty. So it doesn't have any spine, so when you go to pick them, you're not gonna be itching. And some people that doesn't bother, but usually when I got the kids out there, I don't have to worry about them going to pick them because they'll get pricked with all those little pricklies. So hopefully this variety keeps that from happening. I think they'll enjoy that as well, and they'll have fun out there picking them. It's a good variety to try. I recommend it. Beans, I usually direct seed those out there. Usually bush beans is what I like to grow because I can just pull them up and get rid of them. Usually, last year I did 3 double rows of bush beans, 3 different kinds, and I believe the Momentum bush bean was the best producer that I had. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing any bush beans this year. If I have space, I will, but we'll find out. I usually direct seed them though. Next I have is a winter squash. I got the Butter Baby from Johnny's Seeds, and I'm looking forward to that one. That one looks good. It's a nice size for our family, so hopefully we can put some of those up as well. Cucumbers, I usually direct seed outside. Sweet corn, direct seed outside. Pumpkins, I have the Mustang PMR pumpkin from Hoss Tools. Looking to grow some carving pumpkins this year, so we'll see how that goes. I could probably seed start those, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, I might try both, seed start and direct seed them. And that's about wrapped up my seed starting schedule for Zone 6B. Another thing that I usually seed start is some flowers, and I picked out some flowers from Johnny's. It's a pin cushion mix, so hopefully with the zinnia seeds I saved from last year, I got up some zinnias from Halston Seeds from those, and some sunflower seeds I saved. Hopefully I can grow some more flowers for my beneficial insects as well. I recommend doing that. That helps the pollination out and it looks pretty. So, and if you're in a pinch, you can pick some for your old lady. Now, if you're seed starting indoors, I really like to acclimate the seedlings. You can't just grow them indoors and then just put them outside and expect them to grow, because they're not used to the sunlight. They're only used to the artificial light that's produced inside the house. So you need to have some kind of an acclimation schedule on the ready. And what I usually do is, you got 2 options. As soon as they sprout, you can slowly put them outdoors for around an hour every day, slowly acclimate them till transplanting. It's best if you start it on a cloudy day, and that helps out so they don't get burned by the sun, because if you do just stick them outside, the sun will burn the leaves on the plants. What I usually do is I grow them inside till they get really close to about the size that I want them, and I'll let them kind of dry out a little bit inside instead of watering them all whenever they need it. I'll let them dry out a hair once the transplants are almost fully to the size they need to be planted outside. I'll let them dry out, and usually day 1 on a full sun, like if this was full sun for your schedule, day 1 I would do about 15 minutes or so and then put them back inside under your grow lights. Day 2, about 15-20 minutes full sun. Day 3 I would do about 30-45 minutes, and then day 4 about an hour. Day 5 probably about an hour and a half to an hour. Day 6 about 2 hours, and day 7 about 3 hours. You got to slowly bring them up and introduce them to the sunlight so it can harden them off, because they're not used to the wind outside. They're not used to any kind of pressure because they get nice and cushy inside, so you got to slowly acclimate them to the outdoors to be able to transplant them. That's just the way I do it. I usually grow them inside to about the size that I need, and then I acclimate them, but you can start them as soon as they emerge from the soil in your seed starting trays. You can slowly put them outside every day until transplanting. It's just up to you, to your personal preference. Another thing that I have, this tool that I was talking about at the beginning, it's a Haas Tools garden planter. They have a spring side. And then they have a fall side. And back when I didn't know a lot of things, I mean, if you don't want to Google the information, a good little gift for somebody would be this little planter. You can put in your last frost, mine's about second week of April, and it'll tell you first planting dates outside, seed starting, and it can tell you your average harvest days, and it tells you for all of these varieties that are listed here, and it has a lot of information on the back here in this red information here about seed spacing. It'll tell you seeds / plants per 10-foot row. It'll tell you the planting depth for these varieties, the distance between rows, hills, the distance between plants after thinning inches, and it tells you the minimum daily sunshine required, fully, the partial, or very little. It is very informative for somebody that is new to gardening, and I suggest checking those out. They are very useful, and sometimes gardening as long as I have, I still look at it from time to time just for information that I would like to try to look at and learn. So I hope you enjoyed this seed starting variety and schedule video. Thanks for watching, and this is Not a Pro Gardener here, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell to get notified for every new video that I come out with. Thanks.